my art teacher enters our classroom. Let's all congratulate Toni. Her art piece in the library just had a bomb threat. I'm at Cal State University, Fresno, enrolled in the feminist art program started by Judy Chicago. And for my art piece, I've made a white satin box, and on one side, I've built a hot pink velvet vagina. And on top, I've put purple marabou feather pubic hair. Up above, I've rigged a motor with a long wire on the end of which is a tampon that I've stained red. And the tampon with the motor swings back and forth, in and out of the vagina, and I call the piece Rhythm. Now I install Rhythm in the display case of the library, and I very thoughtfully cover the whole glass case with construction paper. And I cut peepholes in it. So nobody's forced to see this exhibit. And still, there's a bomb threat. And I am so excited. I mean, my art is controversial. Isn't that what every artist wants? Now, you have to understand, growing up, the last thing I want to be is controversial. You see, we live in the Oakland Hills. And while only a few miles from Berkeley, where we live, it is decidedly WASP and Republican. And to my dismay, my parents are Jewish and Democrat. If Kennedy wins, we're going to have to go to school on Saturdays. That's what the kids tell me in the playground when Kennedy runs for president. No, we won't. Yes, I have a German accent because I speak English like my parents, both of whom fled Hitler. By third grade, my teachers who can't understand me send me to a speech therapist. And I lose my accent, but not the sense of being different. Plus, I mean, being Jewish, I'm one of the only kids not in school on Yom Kippur, which feels weird. So I work hard to fit in. I subscribe to 17 magazine. And I read it cover to cover, and I learn a lot. Mom, Dad, I have a date on Friday night. A date? You're only 15. You're too young to date. In Europe, girls don't date until they're older. But we're in America. I mean, things are different here. No, I don't think so. You're too young. If you don't let me go on this date, I'm not going to have any friends at school. And my parents relent. And then I get to dress them for my date. I have my dad wear a houndstooth jacket and smoke a pipe. And I have my mom wear a really nice shirt-waist dress with a string of pearls. And now they look just like the all-American family I see on Father Knows Best. So when I go to school at Berkeley, I join a sorority. Because that's what my friends are doing. A sorority? Oh, what are we going to tell our friends? Oh, Ricky's going to Harvard, Lawrence is going to Reed, and Steffi's going to Oberlin. You see, none of my parents' friends' kids go to schools that even have sororities. Well, I feel differently. I'm not going to any school where you have to wear an Indian bedspread for a dress. And then things change at Berkeley. People start wearing Indian bedspreads. It's 1969. So I have a wonderful sociology professor that really turns me on to the joy of using my mind. And after that, I drop out of sorority. I don't want to be like everybody else. I sit up late into the night reading The Organization Man. No way am I going to be a cog in the corporate machine. But when too much tear gas and riots keep interrupting all my classes, I move to a communal living situation outside of Fresno. And I take an art class and then another. That's how I wind up having a bomb threat. So when I graduate, I go in search of wider creative horizons. And I drive to Hollywood in my vivid orange Toyota Corolla with the bumper sticker, "Adam was a rough draft." And I stay I need to look professional, which means I need a haircut. And somehow I wind up at a Beverly Hills salon that caters to rock and rollers. And there's palm trees in there and ferns, and the stylist has this long blonde hair, and she wears a caftan and swirling colors of turquoise and orange. And she talks to me about making some little kind of change. And I go, okay. And when she's done and she hands me the mirror, I have a massive permanent that makes me look like I belong in a heavy metal band. Who's gonna hire me looking like this? Then I get a job interview with a production company that makes high-end rock videos. Yeah. Now, I know nothing about rock music. In fact, when I was younger, I had a crush on Glenn Gould. You too? The classical pianist, because, well, I saw his picture on the cover of the album where he plays Beethoven's Piano Concerto in C minor. Anyway, I get the job, and I must look the part. So we're on the set for the video shoot for the rock star of the moment, named Walter Egan. I don't know, maybe you remember his big hit, Magnet and Steel? Anyway, so Walter enters, and he has hair that looks just like mine. And he has an entourage. And his girlfriend sashays up to me, and she's got long, straight blonde hair, skin-tight jeans, stiletto heels, and a short cropped red leather jacket. And she goes, "Hey, hon, if you get me a pack of cigarettes, I'll give you a toot." And she hands me some money. So, okay. So I'm walking to the store, and I'm trying to imagine this woman in the stiletto heels playing the horn. I mean, would it be a French horn? And then I think, oh, maybe it's a metaphor. You know, she's going to toot her horn on my behalf. And I get back, and I give her the cigarettes, and she puts a wad of tinfoil in my hand. "Thanks, hon." It looks like cocaine. Toot? That was the sound of band practice coming down the hall in high school. I've never been in an environment where drugs are this rampant. And I feel weird. And I go home, and to this day, I honestly don't remember what I did with the cocaine. All I remember is I couldn't wait to call my college friend Donna, because I wanted to tell her about how weird the situation was, and I knew she would understand it, and I'd feel normal. So I get Donna on the phone, and I tell her about the rock star, and the hair, and the cocaine. And Donna says, "You should have got her a carton." Well, no matter what other people think, I know I just don't fit in this environment, so I look for another job. And I get an interview with Filmix, the big Los Angeles Film Festival. And the boss takes one look at my hair and says, "You look front office." And next thing I know, I'm behind a fancy reception desk in Century City, where I promptly anger a major TV star, because I don't know if he's Starsky or Hutch. Now, one night, Filmix has a kickoff party at the home of a major Hollywood producer. And so I put on my, my cotton A-line shift that I buy at the India Import store, and some nice sandals. And I drive my orange Toyota up the winding Hollywood Hills streets until I come to the one that dead ends in front of the party house. And as I turn my car around, over by the bushes, I see a group of men in matching jackets, and they're looking at me. And I've heard about gangs in LA. So I start to drive away. And one of them starts running after me and yelling, and I was really scared, so I floor it until they disappear in my rearview mirror. And I get down the hill, and I park and think, what do I do? Should I go home? But I see other people from work going up the hill to the party. So I park the car and I walk back up the hill. And that's when I see a woman get out of a Mercedes and hand her keys to the man in the jet. Valet parking. Now, inside the party house, there are floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook the twinkling lights of Los Angeles. And yeah, I do feel a little strange in my cotton shift because all the women are in these shimmering fabrics. But then I noticed something strange. All the men are wearing black. And I wondered, if all these people are so creative, why are they all wearing the same thing? Anyway, then a couple starts coming over to me, and the man's wearing a gold chain, and he slings his arm around the woman and goes, "Hey, I'm Bill. This is Wendy. We're estranged." And so I go over to some other people, and they're mid-conversation, and one guy's going, "Yeah, my script was in turnaround, but now Paramount has an option on it." And this other person goes, "Oh, that's wonderful. Did you read the trades today? Great article on pilot season." And I'm going, turnaround, option, trades? What language are these people talking? So I see a woman from work, and I go stand by her, and she's in a small group of people, and there's kind of this nondescript man standing next to me with round wire-rimmed glasses. And he's talking, and everybody's laughing because he's really funny. And then for no reason, he picks up my hand and starts stroking my thumb. And he keeps talking, and everybody's laughing, and he keeps stroking my thumb. And then just as suddenly, he drops it and walks away. And my friend goes, "Oh my God, that was Buck Henry." And I go, "Who's Buck Henry?" "Oh my God, he wrote The Graduate and Catch-22. I've just met Hollywood royalty." And I go home, admiring my thumb. So when Filmex ends, I get a job as the production secretary for the hit TV show 8 is Enough on the Warner Brothers studio lot.
Wow.
Tony, who's in my parking space? Somebody's in my parking space. Who is in my parking space? That's Stan. He's one of the show's freelance directors. And having a parking space on the lot is a huge status sign. Having somebody else in your parking spot could mean your status is going down. Now, Stan is what's called above the line. He's one of the top creatives, you know, the directors, the writers, the actors. I'm what's called below the line. I am low on the Hollywood food chain. And speaking of food, somebody like Stan would never have lunch with somebody like me. I mean, for Stan, that would be like, well, it'd be like losing his parking spot. You know, my Berkeley idealism has no place in this world. And still, I get a thrill when I drive my orange Toyota past the guard onto the lot. I mean, I'm where so many dream of being. And in the commissary, wearing the cape, that's Superman getting a hamburger. And over there at that table, all those people in scrubs, that's the cast of ER. And I even get an autograph from my sports-obsessed brother from O.J. Simpson. Now, the days we work are really long, and when we go on location, we all get vitamin B shots so we won't get sick. And when I fly home, I carry a script on my lap, and the woman next to me notices it. "Oh, do you work in entertainment?" "Oh, yeah, I do. I work on 8 is Enough, the TV show. Do you know it?" "8 is Enough! I love that show. Betty Buckley." And while she's gushing, and I bask in her admiration, which, I mean, that's the point of hearing the script. I try to feel glamorous, but what I really feel is tired. What I really like is a good night's sleep, dinners at home, and weekends with friends and family. You know, there's just no place for my idealism here. And then I realized what I really need are good friends, grounded friends. "Hey, Tony, want to come over for brunch on Sunday?" you know, we could talk about the project. Or, hey, Toni, what are you doing for dinner Friday night? Want to go out? We could talk about the project. You see, in Hollywood, every social interaction is a means for self-promotion. And no place is safe from this. So, I'm at the gynecologist. And my feet are in the stirrups and the doctor's examining when he asks, so Toni, what are you doing now? I'm a script reader at MGM Studios. Really? I have a script I've been looking at. And I want to slap my legs together right there because I'm afraid he's going to put the script in And next he'll say, yeah, I'm a gynecologist, but what I really want to do is direct. And then there's the man that I date. So I'm at the home of one rather successful TV writer when he walks over to his phone and turns to me and says, hey, Toni, want to watch me call my agent? Or I open the door to another date who says, oh, I'm sorry I'm late. My BMW is in the shop. You see, in Hollywood, you are what you drive or what's being repaired. And then there's all the men who say, you're so normal, like they've met an endangered species. And I start to take pride in being normal because, you know, I'm like a decimal point against which they can feel that they are trendy or traditional. I provide a valuable service. Anyway, the other thing that's good about being in Hollywood is that you're Jewish. And in Hollywood, in Hollywood, on Yom Kippur, the freeways are empty. And yet, for all the strangeness of Hollywood, it's really one of the first times I feel like I'm in my element because everybody here is or wants to be creative. I mean, back home, everybody talks about going into law. Here, they talk about law as a backup career in case their career as a stand-up comedian doesn't work out. Still, I'm looking for more shared values and community. So I go in and talk to my young, rather hip rabbi. You know, Toni, I think the perfect thing for you would be to start a Havurah. Now, a Havurah is a group of people from the temple that meet monthly. And they are like family. They celebrate holidays together, they do social things, life transitions. You really become close. I could give you the names of people to invite. I think it'd be just what you need. Great. So I go home and I invite the 20 people's names that he gives me. And it's the night of the Havurah. And I've laid out all the food, and I'm kind of nervous, but I'm excited too, because, well, Hollywood can be kind of lonely. And the phone rings. Hello? Toni, it's Mike Stein. Who's there? Excuse me? Who's there? It's early and nobody's come yet. Okay, I'll call back. And there's more calls like that. And in the end, 3 people show up. Bye. Thanks for coming. I'm really happy to meet you. And I realize in Hollywood, even religion is a means to an end. And it's not salvation. So the next time the studio's called to offer me a job, I say no thanks. The Hollywood life just isn't for me. You know, the studios that look so glamorous and creative from afar feel corporate and stifling from inside. And I just think I'll go back to school and get a degree in journalism so I can focus on real, ordinary people instead of fabricated ones. Ordinary. It suits me just fine.